You got that?
Yeah,
Okay, welcome back.
we here. We
Welcome back
here.
to the
Uh,
Chandie Speaks podcast. It's your girl, Chandie. I got another guest star. It's been a lot of guest stars for me these past few weeks. Got another guest star. I'm really excited because this is like family to me right now. This is Family Matters. Do you want to introduce yourself? Welcome to the show.
I don't know. Your descriptions be so on point. You saying them words. You talking that talk.
I'm
You know
just
what I'm
speaking.
saying? It's the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Frost, Mr. Nino B. How y'all's doing? How y'all's doing?
Mr. Frost. Mr. Frost. It's been a long time. And we're doing this virtually right
Yeah.
now. It's not even for real, for real. This is like virtually
Oh
from
no, it's
from
for real. The
Chicago.
only ones that can get them on the line are the ones that know how to find you. Know what I'm saying?
Uh,
But it's been long overdue. It's been long overdue.
Hell yeah, man. Hell fucking yeah. Thank you for coming. Thank you for kicking
Absolutely.
it with your girl. Kicking it with your girl. You know me as Dree,
Yeah.
because it's family, you
Yeah.
know. Um, I guess a little background story. Should I give? I'm gonna do a little background story because I keep it real with my listeners.
Do it to him. Do it to him.
My beautiful sister. This is my beautiful sister's baby daddy.
Yeah.
And they make wonderful music together. They make,
Yeah.
and I've talked about her, I've bragged about both of you guys on Van Life Diaries, if anyone's been following me for a long time. And we were just listening to, because we had a reminiscence of the time when we were sort of fanboying and fangirling over Ariana Grande way back. And do you want to share that news about, because I think that's amazing, about this track that is fucking dope as hell that you just sent me.
I just so happened
So,
to out of the strength of social media, I was able to connect virtually with Ariana Grande's team. They allowed me to, as requested by apparently her fans. So, I mean, shout out to all of the Ariana Grande fans. But I made a post, put it on my stories on social media, tagged all of her fan pages. Now I ain't know which one was the real one, of course. So I just tagged all the ones that popped up, and I got a lot of reposts. I got a lot of views off of that. So the management team, my email for the company is it's all over. You can find me if you're looking for me. You know what
how
I mean?
long?
So they reached out, and they had a screenshot of the request for me to actually be on a remix of a very popular song, and
How
I
long
just
after did you post that song? Did they reach out?
it was months. It was probably like I posted the song for a week. I was getting, kind of new followers. There was a lot of reposts, a lot of comments that were tagging me and
I'm so
like
proud
trying
of
to
you.
trying to boost my page up. And at the time, I was already kind of dropping a different project that did not have that song on there. So like I had a very strategic marketing plan to get more attention, and it just so happened probably like 3 4 months later, I was going through
Wow.
my actual email because they didn't DM me or nothing like that. They sent me a formal email, and yeah, they sent me stems. They sent me everything I needed. I just needed signed paperwork, and any artist that's trying to really make money in the business, your paperwork is one of the most critical cha-ching things you can do. If your paperwork ain't right, you ain't really gonna go nowhere with it. You ain't gonna be able to make a lot of money with it. So yeah, they just sent me the signed paperwork, and let me know, what I'm able to drop, how many units I'm able to get paid off of until percentages, and or it's gonna be a
That's
conversation for
amazing.
if they go that far. But yeah,
That's amazing, dude.
it's on the up and up. It's on the up and up. That's
Okay, I want to
and
do. I want to backtrack really quick. Okay, because
yeah,
who is? I even wrote this question down for it. Who is Nino? For the people who don't know, who is Nino?
Nino. Nino is a rapper, CEO, businessman. He is the owner of Frostbite Entertainment, what was formerly known as Frostbite Entertainment. It's now Frostbite Enterprises. So we do much more than make music around here, but I'm very well known for rocking the mic.
Very well known for rocking the mic. And how long you been into music? What's your journey with that? Because that's where I feel like it came in. I feel like maybe I'm out of pocket for saying this, but I feel like you sort of woke something up within my sister, a little bit. I love you, Cash Go Crazy.
Um,
Shout out to Cash Go
I
Crazy.
can't, I can't, I can't take the credit for that. I mean, at the end of the day, there is nothing that,
No, it was always there, but I feel like
right, like I'm the type of person that I'm not afraid to do unheard of things, right? So one day I woke up and I said, hey, get assigned to a record label seems more like a scam. I'm from the west side of Chicago. I'm a hustler, so it's, you know what I'm saying? Can't hustle a hustler, you know what I'm saying? So it seemed more beneficial for me and my crew they was rapping in the closet with me when I started, you know what I'm saying? It was more beneficial, like, why don't we just do that shit? Like, if they can start Death Row and Bad Boy and all of this and X, Y, and Z, why can't we start something?
Yeah,
And that was the dawn of it was a couple of different movements before I made the Frostbite brand. At first, I was Frostbite. I was Mr. Frostbite. You know what I mean? But at the point where I surrounded myself with a lot of like-minded artists, you know what I'm saying? Frostbite became more of a way of life, a mindset. You know what I'm saying? We make music for the voices we can't see, for the people we can't see. You know what I mean? Like the ones that's playing that song and that got them through what they is going through, and I got fans all over the globe that have heard my music and spotted me out in public, like, yo, I recognize you. You know what I mean? So you never know how
mm,
far the rules of your actions are going to reach. If I could help somebody get through a hard time simply by speaking on a microphone, like, I can do that. That ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? And in Frostbite, it was more about making people confident and displaying their talent. So I can
that's
say that I was
beautiful.
responsible for getting the people together that we gassed each other up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got on stage and started showing out, you damn right my team finna get on stage and show out. You don't want to come home after the show and me be like, what were you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all love, you know what I mean? So yeah, and over time, you have it yourself. You don't need me there no more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna keep being who I
Right,
always been.
right.
I ain't gonna switch up.
And that's all I was
However,
saying about Cash. I wasn't coming down or
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
dim her light or anything. Um,
she definitely found her lane and been riding that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So it's, hey, shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah. I was just thinking about her. Okay, so I got to tell you this funny story. Like so I got these microphones for the podcast, but I've been trying to record music too. So I don't even know how long ago. It was probably like a couple weeks ago or something. For the first time I sort of simulated like a little mini concert in my van with the microphone in my
Yeah,
hand. I never was on stage with the microphone and
yeah,
rapped my
it's
shit
different.
rapped my shit
Yeah,
out
it's different.
And like with all my fucking heart, and I felt like what I like to call like the star quality. I just like it just sort of like it just sort of went in. It just sort of like and then I just went in.
It activates.
It activated.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
happened, right? And it
yeah,
activated,
yeah.
and then I'm like, I just went in, and I just felt it coming from my fucking heart, and it did something to me, man. I was like, man, it made me feel some kind of way, sort of like I don't know, because I can't say it's
As a
staged.
performer,
What is it?
well, I'll tell you, yeah, I'll say as an entertainer, right? That's the high. It's for me,
Yeah.
music. I get that feeling. It's when I'm on stage. It's when I look at a microphone. If I look at a microphone, I get that feeling like,
Wow, when
oh,
you
I'm about
look
to
at a
ooh,
microphone.
yeah. I'm about to ooh. And then I gotta have it when I go into other people's studios. I'll get on the microphone and I'll let them know like, hey, you gonna have to retire this mic by the time I get done with it because I promise you're not gonna look at it the same. Moment I laid eyes on this bitch, I knew I was
Wow.
finna shut this motherfucker down.
Hey.
And I got a
Hey.
bad habit of I'll go off script in the middle of my verse, right? Like if I'm really in it, if I'm really in my mode, I'll go off script. I'll stop. If I wrote something down, I'll stop and just go. And then that'd be the best stuff, or so I've been told. You know what I'm saying? It's a running joke with my squad that can't nobody ever get my freestyles on camera because
Wow.
one, they come out of the blue. And when they come out of the blue, if you know that I'm just fucking around, like I'm literally just, I don't know, in my bag. I'm in I call it my mode. When I get in that little
Wow.
zone,
Your
I be
mode.
finding
Wow.
shit to
Fucking
just, yeah,
hustle and flow type shit. No, like get your
for real. No,
because
hey, no, I
I
felt that. When
get
I
it
see
now. I
that
was like,
movie, they keep fucking up my mode, man.
I get
It
it
be
now.
like that. Especially as an artist with kids, when you be in that, daddy, what's up? What you need? What you need? All right, hurry up real quick. Let me get back in the. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
so hilarious.
it's and over time too, like you develop a skill or you develop like a particular setting. Like that's why you'll see some studios where they got really dim lights, or some studios they got colorful lights. It ain't no regular lights anywhere but the booth. You know what I'm saying? So that you could really get in that, like, you can get in your vibe. You can get it. Everybody call it something different. You get it. You can catch the vibe.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So is
Me,
it's a
I'll be like,
thing.
once, yeah, yeah.
So
Once you,
what's that thing then? What
I
is that?
guess it would be better described as when you get in the zone, right? And anybody that has a passion for something, like you can understand this. When you get in that zone, when you're really locked in, where it's just you're an unstoppable force. There's nothing that can break this connection with this art that you have right now. Like that's that mode. That's that mode, right? When you see a live cipher and you see motherfuckers they like double dutch. They waiting to jump in. Like let me get some. Let me get, and then come out just spitting. Like
Right.
that's that zone. That's that mode. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to capture that anywhere, whether it's on film, whether it's recorded, whether it's just in the presence of other people, right, where they can witness you in that
Mm.
place, right? It can transcend, like, that's what I would describe like a timeless experience. You feel me? Like
Man, I felt that
you
shit. Yep, I feel you.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's you pierce the veil of like what's in the moment right now. And when you think about like your favorite song, it's the same thing, right? Like when you hear that one song that everybody love, everybody go off to when it come on, right? Like it put everybody in that same zone that artist was at that time, right? When they were making it. And that's the high. That's the high that I chase. That's what makes it so it ain't never about being flashy. I was a flashy nigga before I started doing music. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about being flashy or none of that. It's literally being able to repetitively get in that zone where for just that 3 minutes, that 3 minutes and 30 seconds, you are unfuckwithable. You know what I'm saying? Like you that, you him, you her, you that, you there. You know what I mean? Like that's
I
what
know.
it's
I got a
all
little
about.
swag too. When I was like on my I was like, I'm gonna do the whole album. I was like, I'm gonna do a whole little show. After the first song, I was like,
And you
oh.
be wanting to give some commentary, like I wasn't even finna do this to y'all, but I'm gonna do it to you.
I was too.
Yes.
It's like
Listen,
nobody.
I'm
It's
you. Hey, you talking to an artist? I done did it when I was a kid. Every Friday, me and my big sister used to do pretend concerts in the living room for my
dang.
parents. Like I put on the little B2K vest and no shirt under there, no chest, just doing usher moves, singing Tupac. Like one day, I'm finna get on the stage and fuck it up, and then I look over the years like where I'm like, damn, when I was a kid, I used to talk that shit, right? Like I used to, this gonna happen. I promise this on my mama, this gonna happen. But I never could have imagined that it went, as far as I did it, like doing shows and stuff like that. I could not really fathom how far I took it before I focused on other things. So like performing now, me myself,
Mm.
it don't take a lot for me to perform, but it do take the right person to ask me, right? Like I don't be charging for performances. I never charge for a verse. Anybody could get a 16 from me. It's that's
Really?
all you gotta
That's
do is
beautiful. I I don't know. I'm back
ask.
and forth with it. I'm like, uh, like if it's the same guy, I'm not gonna put his whole thing on blast, but this one music partner that I've had has asked me for multiple verses and beats,
Yeah,
and I've just given it to
yeah.
him, dude. And I'm just like, after so long, I'm like, he ain't gonna kick back nothing. Like, but whatever. I guess
Well,
should
see,
I
this
not?
this my kickback, right? Well, in my perspective, so
I mean,
I've
I'm
gone
paying for the
from
beats in some way.
Chicago. I've gone from Chicago to Hawaii to New Jersey to like I've been in a lot of different locations and in the most random of places, like on an island in Hawaii, for somebody to be currently listening to my music, like I said, there's no
Uh-huh.
telling how they got introduced to it.
I should
And it could have been on the strength
check
of
my high
one of these
notes.
verses that I just gave away. You know what I'm saying? Like I did. I had a group that was me and my best friend, my brother, called 𝙭𝑆², and my brother never has to the as far as like monetary kickback. My brother never like unless it was asking me to throw down like on a studio session to record the shit. My brother never had to ask me, for even ask me for a verse. Like it was one point where I would get invited to the studio after work. Like I'm on my last job for work, and right when I get off that job, I pull up at the studio, walk in there. He like, yo, I need a verse from you. Okay. Walk in the booth, drop the verse. He got another song. We do another, but like 3, 4 songs in a 3 hour session. Full songs too. Fully not like we wasn't
Beautiful.
fucking around in there.
That's your
You know what I
brother,
mean?
But, but
Even
yeah,
but when I think about the company he brought, right? Like it was friends of his that I didn't know. That's how I met certain individuals. You know what I'm saying? And those people got free verses from me. You know what I mean? Just on the strength that my brother invited me to the studio session the whole time. This is y'all studio session, and you just agreed to let me get on the song that I'm probably never gonna hear again. There in my personal library, I have over a
yeah,
thousand songs that I've recorded myself.
yeah.
With other people, I have probably 100 plus songs that I have, and then there's probably another 300 to 400 songs out there, just out in the world somewhere on a platform here, a mixtape there. There's probably another 400 songs that I've recorded with other people that I don't even have. I couldn't even tell you what that verse sounded like. I haven't heard it since I spit it in the booth.
Mm.
But it don't matter because again, I could walk anywhere, somebody be like, "Oh my God, do you rap?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Are you Nino?" And I'm like, "Shh, yeah, yeah, cool. I don't know who's around you or who." Like, yeah, what's up? You know what I mean? So, and
Yeah, I
it was
feel
really
you.
crazy. My
Yeah.
daughter Zoe literally just called me today, like before I talked to you, saying that a friend at her school was listening to my albums while they were at school today. She's like, "Dad, I have the craziest story. You're never gonna believe this." And she got a whole bunch of friends that listen to my music, and she's 12. You know what I mean? So, like 12, you hear a bunch of 12-year-olds that know your music, know your songs. Like, oh, does mom and dad listen to it? Like, how did you stumble upon, how, daughter? How did you stumble upon my like? Like I'll be, they'll hear me play my music, but as far as like sending my kids my albums and stuff, nah, I don't be doing all of that. I'm using a little explicit,
I feel
but
that. But I'm
I
like,
wouldn't worry about it. Like if you're focused more so on the business side of it, right? So like if you're building your business portfolio, you've got you're in a position to obtain the paperwork that you'll need, you know what I mean, and actually make money off of what you're doing. I completely understand
it should be
having a price
nothing,
for service.
it
You know
should
what I
be.
mean? Like even like producers, like I give out beats if people ask me for them, but I got a library full of 1,000 beats that
Right.
I've
I was gonna
made
say,
for
ain't like, oh,
myself.
I got a bunch
You
of
know what
other
I'm saying?
fucking beats. I made those beats in like a couple moments, you know.
Like it, you've seen personally how long it takes me to write a song. It takes me about just as long to record it, unless I'm mixing and mastering and trying to put that polish on it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, then there's that. Cool, no problem. But at the same time, I wouldn't know. Like, I don't declare myself to be a producer, right? I make money off of my streams. And that's gonna happen regardless of what verses I do for anybody. And I got to a point where if ever I do want professional studio time, I can pay for it out of my royalty money. I don't gotta come out of pocket for that. You know what I mean? But I also took the time to learn what all my engineers were doing when I was in the studio with them so that I can do it at the crib without even having to go because of how busy I be. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you think of some of the biggest artists, like they do the same thing. We was just talking about Ariana
Hmm.
Grande, how she's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much about it being hard, it's meticulous. And then
Exactly. Exactly.
if you have the money, right, you can invest in the bells and whistles to make it a lot less meticulous. That's all professional studios are. They got the equipment plus the bells and whistles to make all of that stuff sound so crispy in so little time. You know what I mean? It takes so little
Exactly.
time. All I gotta do is throw this plug in on there, throw this plug in on there, and now we're just adjusting it for you and boom, mastered, mixed, mastered, done. You know what I'm saying? Running a record label, I have to learn how to do that because how can I employ a good producer if I myself don't know how to produce? So and once you start learning it, then it's like, damn, this shit's so simple. Once you got all the right stuff, like I would charge for classes. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody wanted me to record a whole album for them, yes, throw me some bread so your stuff can take priority
How
over
much
my
bread?
stuff.
How much bread would you need for someone to throw you a whole album? For you,
For a whole
for
album,
someone, for you to produce somebody's album for them, or
how many tracks?
12.
12
What?
tracks, tell me $50.
Let me just make sure. Yeah, 12.
Yeah, tell me $50. That's like $6 a track, something like that. roughly.
That's crazy. I'm gonna need you to do that for me.
But see,
Need you to do that for me.
that's the thing. We talking business, right?
No, not
So
not. I want you to teach me how to do it for myself. How much would that cost?
same.
Same.
I
Okay.
mean,
Google
it's the
it.
same process. I'm doing the same thing. You just want to be there while I'm doing it, so I can kind of say out loud to you what I would just be saying out loud to myself. Otherwise, yeah, no problem.
There you go.
$50. Oh yeah, every
Thank you.
time I'm in the studio.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And that's simple, but like with me again, I'm a businessman, right? So I'm making these beats for you. Of course, we got a banging ass album. You're gonna say who you was working with, and
Right.
that's gonna
Right.
bring
Right.
another fifty
We're
dollars, and
making
then
a banging
another
ass
fifty
album
dollars.
regardless. So.
You know what I'm saying? So like either way, the return on my investment in the project is nothing. I already got all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm creating out of nothing. That's easy. That's easy. You know, so but yeah, in terms of like putting my brand on it, right? Like putting my stamp on it, that's where money comes in. That's where it's like, yeah, throw me $50. I'm gonna put Frostbite all over your shit. If you want features from Frostbite on GP, get it. And that includes the boss. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the business, that's that trade and barter system. All right, I'm gonna trade my time to be on your project. You want to trade that window for features of my company? They come with it. We have fun doing this. We do that for fun. You know what I mean? So, and there were going to be verses recorded. So if I got people that's like, yo, I jump on that, jump on it. Let's see if you make the cut. You know what I mean? And in turn, we build this network amongst artists, amongst producers, amongst people who record, people who mix master, like you know what I mean, videographers, all of these people that you know you might have to invest a little bit more in video services. So nah, I don't feel right charging an arm and a leg for your project. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Now down the line, yo, do you know somebody that can do X, Y, and Z? Yeah, I know a guy. Cool. And then plug you in with somebody else. Like that's that's business. That's good business, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And down the line, hopefully that favors return. You know what I mean? And like I said, y'all build on the that's why they say it's not always about what you know, it's about who you know too. I could be the rawest producer anybody ever heard of. It don't really matter if I don't got nobody helping me spread the word.
Hmm. Righto.
You know? But you gotta be business. You gotta think about the business side of it, right? When you're doing this shit for fun, which is usually what I'm doing, I'm just having
Same.
fun. That's
Exactly.
why you know what I
I
mean?
still
It'd
want
be
it to
more
sound like a masterpiece, though. Like I don't want to be putting out garbage. Still wants to sound good.
and that's the that's the love, that's the art of it. That's the love of it. It shouldn't have to cost you an arm and leg to put out what you feel like is your masterpiece. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? It deserves to sound good without you having to have Drake money. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't require all of that. And it don't. It really requires somebody that's willing to be a vessel for you to understand what it is you asking for, right? Because how can you know if you don't know? You know, so and that was one thing I learned about like kind of being on the music scene. I can run the music scene without ever showing my face. It actually has turned out to make me more desirable in the
Mm.
music world because I still drop music. My music is still out
Right.
there. You know, I'm not going heavy on promoting it. I'm doing other stuff. I got Frostbite Farms. You know what I mean? We got
What
Frostbite
is
Fashion.
so? Where did frostbite come from? I know this, but in case the people don't already know this, where did frostbite come from?
So originally Frostbite was kind of like a nickname that was given to me because I was um, a very skilled artist. I was a really good rapper. They said I was cold.
Ooh.
You
Woo!
cold.
They too
Cold.
cold, bro.
Like you the worst kind of cold. You the worst kind of cold it could be, bro. Like that frostbite. Boy, you want to get that frostbite. Get some amputated fucking around with him. You know what I mean? So it was running like that, but then like it. I don't know, it kind of fit. Like I was looking for it everywhere. There's got to be somebody, some group called Frostbite. Frostbite what? I don't know. Frostbite Entertainment. All right, cool. I like that. And at the time where I was kind of repping Frostbite Entertainment, it started with just me. I was the only person on Frostbite, repping Frostbite, talking Frostbite, because yeah, that was my shit. And then I actually figured out what it took to make the dream of Frostbite Entertainment as an organization, as a company. Um, I figured out what it took to make it real,
What was that?
and I did it.
What was that?
You know, opening a business, naming it Frostbite Entertainment, declaring legally what that company would be, what industry that company fell in, filing taxes,
Wow.
paying taxes on it, like
Yeah.
big boy shit. You know
That
what
big
I
boy
mean? Like,
shit.
and it ain't hard to do, but if you gonna
It's a
run a
commitment.
business, you gotta run a business. So me being the CEO, the owner, I gotta run my business. Performing is fun, and it's a good way to expand your business. But if your business not making no money, you're not gonna be able to afford to do these shows. You know what I mean? Like, cause it costs to be an artist. You know what I mean? It costs. That's why
Hmm.
you hear starving artists, starving artists. It costs. That the entertainment industry costs. And yes, you might get a hit, but it take a lot of shots. It take a lot of shots sometimes, and sometimes it take that one shot that made it. But then it's like, hey, guess what? That's the game. You got to keep shooting. You know what I mean? You just see artists come and go. You just see artists come, go, and they come back when they finally got that shot right. They had to go back in the gym. You know what I mean? So, um, and then I found out too that I like being a businessman. I like being a businessman more than I enjoy being an artist. Because
Well,
I mean, the
why do you think
artistry
that
don't
is?
go.
Or I guess where do you think that comes from?
Well, it came from right. So when it was Frostbite Entertainment, and then I started growing medicinal. You know, I wanted to brand what I was growing because I got a lot of fans from my medicinal plants as well. So everybody want that Frostbite
Farmer.
Kush, where that Frostbite Kush at, right? So and it had a nice little ring to it too. So I was like, yeah, man, maybe Frostbite can be more than just a record company, right? Maybe Frostbite can yeah, I'm thinking like that boy had, you got the Sean John G Unit had their clothing line. Like now I'm thinking like, man, opening the record label was easy enough. Why not? I could open the agricultural company as well.
Sky's
And
the limit.
the agricultural company, yeah, the name became Frostbite Farms because hey, it's perfect, and it don't exist nowhere else. So, and that name is just so marketable, right? Frostbite, whatever, Frostbite this, Frostbite that. Like it's just and nobody put their stamp on it. So I did. And can't nobody use Frostbite like I use Frostbite without paying the boss. And I learned that. I got a best friend that went to school for business. He graduated college for business administration. So, me being I know a guy Nino, hey, I didn't go to school for business in particular, but I know a guy who did. And, soak up the game from him. So now I take it back to my organization, and that's really how you start leveling up.
So how many do
I
you have
got two
people?
albums.
How many people are in your
What's up?
organization? Is it just still just you?
Nah. I got let's
Do you have
see,
like
it's
a
myself.
team, a full team now, or?
Yeah. I got an ever expanding team. A lot of the team at this point is blood relatives. Except for my boy, my right hand, my cat, Mahmood, magnificent.
Mahmood, shout out.
Mahmood, my boy, yeah, shout out to Cap. That's my capo. That's my right hand. So, yeah, um, he been a part of the organization since day one, since the birth of the record label. He's actually my first artist. And I got stemming out from there. I got a bunch of blood relatives that got down with the organization in different states. You know what I mean? So they responsible for getting things where they need to go in that area. But yeah, I got a couple of heads. I got one captain in South Carolina, got another one in Arkansas. Um, Trying to think. I got one on the West Coast too. I got one in Cali too. I got one head in Cali. So, but they in the early stages of bringing Frostbite out that way. We still got a lot of partnerships that we trying to lock in. But pretty soon we'll be having a full fledged agricultural farm. We'll have multiple products that we'll be offering through the farm. Um, Want to get up to having our own dispensary eventually, but
Is
this
it
is
legal where
big,
you're
big
at?
dream.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh, should I say Michigan?
Michigan,
I guess Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're in
I'm in
Michigan.
Michigan.
Nino's in Michigan. Is it legal up there?
But yeah, it is. It is. It's actually more feasible for a Frostbite Farms headquarters to be where I am now than in most of the other places that I already kind of sprinkled the seed at. So,
Um,
yeah, but that's why I say I'm good at business. I'm good at kind of entering somewhere with no connections and you know making the connections that I need to make. You know what I mean? So neighborhood, you know what I mean? I'm good with people. I have really good business etiquette in terms of my vision. There's been a couple of places that they really rock with where I see the company going and the umbrella that I could provide as well once I get into the position. So that's what I've been focusing on. It became more about like a legacy, right? Like I got the music branch for any hungry artist. If I do hire like a actual manager for the record label when I open up to start signing artists and stuff again, that's cool. But right now, as we transition to Frostbite Enterprises, I'm focused more on the enterprises part because the
right,
music is already solidified. That
right.
company it's a self-earning machine at this point now. Like I don't have to do anything more than what I do now, and I will make money no matter what off of that one. So I'm kind of trying to get the other machines
Yeah.
rolling before we decide which one we gonna elevate to the next level. But it's a cycle, when you trying to do something that ain't never been done, especially in your, like kind of within your family, and you kind of building the manuscript as you go. It do take time. So a lot of the mission became about my kids and having an empire for them at the point where they're ready to inherit it. So I wanted it to be more than just music because music only gets you so far. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who, don't get me wrong, that the far could be far, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's not act like it's not, right? But
Realistically, yeah.
for me, music and how much time I had to invest in it, it took too much time away from my kids. And the way that I operate and how I do my business now, I got more than enough time with my kids. And they able to kind of see the business, the behind the scene process. They see dad going in these spots and meeting people, walking out, shaking hands. We walk in a grocery store, the owner coming up to give me a hug. Like Dad, how you know him? Oh, yeah, I just started talking to him one day, and da da da. Like, I'm teaching my kids a little something more than how to just be a star. You know, they
Hmm.
know how to be a star. They see it all the time. They got stars all around them. Trust me, you know what I'm saying? So, um, I want to teach them how to be something more than what I don't know anybody could expect them to be. I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to teach a lot of other people with my background that they can do it too. It don't necessarily got to be the same manuscript you was taught. You know what I'm saying? You can change the script. You can flip it on.
That script. Okay, I kind of want to pause because okay, I have to break this into two sections. So hold on. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I just didn't want my phone to die. And
Yeah,
okay, that was a good break. Family, about your kids, and
yeah, man.
sacrifices for your music and time away for them.
Yeah,
So
music
how
won't go nowhere. It'll always be there.
how do you balance? I guess that's a good question. How do you balance the two, or better
A
yet,
lot of the
how
times I have.
where do you get your values from that help you balance the two? Because you seem to balance it already.
Um, I had to learn it. Honestly, trial and error. Over time, I guess, just seeing the kids grow up or missing things, missing because I was at a show, I missed this happening, or because I had to, be in the studio, I missed this happening, and then taking a break and actually getting a chance to experience, just being there, whether it's, just hanging out or, we going out and doing something like just, um, and still being able to do music, like eh, when I focused more on being present in the studio and being present with my kids, like I became a better beat maker. I make some pretty cold Frostbite. New Jack Beats makes some pretty cold beats, so I got better doing that. I perfected my growing craft. I taught my kids how to start a garden. So finding areas and I would just generalize it to the business itself, like where they can be present, they can be active. I can't have my kids at a show at 10:30 to 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Just so they can see the business. I can't do that. I could show them the videos, but I'm gonna be more focused on being an artist when I'm there. So now I gotta rely on everybody else to get the footage and I, I experienced when I was performing that shock factor because I be chill, like I'm a real chill person until I get live, and when I get live, sometimes that shock factor, like people are still trying to put together what exactly is going on. They're kind of shocked, like yo, I see this guy chilling in the back of the club this entire time. How are you on stage like this right now? Like, what is happening? Like I get that. And
Yeah.
then when I get done performing, they're like, damn, dude, I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it though. So I love. And it really is. It really is. I ain't trying to be sarcastic or nothing when I say it. It's just like, no, I know. It ain't no hard feelings, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. So with my kids being able to see me in the studio at home and see me record at home, I got tracks with my daughters on the track, in the background. I got little
Oh.
samples that are actually my kids that nobody would know are my kids, but had I not been at home fucking around, like I'd have never had that idea, you know what I mean? Or even just took the time to actually make that idea come to fruition. Like it's easy when I got the microphone right here and the kid walking the room, be like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Come here, say this real quick on the microphone. Come on, 1, 2, 3, go. And they just, you know what I mean? Then I chop it up and make the voice, play with the voice a little bit, modulate the voice and all of that. And next thing you know, like I got a little sample that I know nobody else has. I'm the only one that knows what that sample is. You know what I mean? But when somebody else hear it and they sing in that little part, I'll be like, ah, yeah, got him. You know, so experiencing a different way to love the craft. I come
Right.
from a very competitive city. You know, like I'm a person when it comes to music. Like I don't care. I, I don't really care if you whack or if you rock, right? Like music is music and it's meant for everybody to be able to enjoy. So I done got on the song with somebody that's not as I don't know, not as good as other people that I've worked with, but we still make a hit, you know, and I still love that song because despite his skill level, me and that motherfucker got down. You know what I mean? We was in there having fun. My man's got on that mic and did his thing, and that's how I be when you work with me. You know, I like inspiring motherfuckers. Like, hey, I know I could go harder on the next one. All right, give me a beat. Let's go. You know, let's get it. I ain't never, you know. So it's finding a different way to enjoy it, you know, when you be in competition all the time, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can lose your spark, you can lose your fire, especially if you know in sports I'm competitive, in spades I'm competitive, in video games I'm competitive, right?
Yeah.
In music, I'm not trying to outdo the next person. That's not why I'm doing it. And when I rap, like I'm I, I'm good at taking compliments, but like at the end of the day, I don't be feeling like I'm that special, right? Like I have my idols, and I be trying to get as close to my idols as I can get in my eyes. But I'm the hardest critic I know. So when everybody be
Exactly.
saying that, like, yo, that was cold, I'm like, yeah, it was straight. I appreciate it. Like, you know, now, don't get me wrong. If I got a song and it's my shit, you will hear me vocalize like, "Hey, this is my shit. I went the fuck off. Fuck what anybody talking about. I went the fuck off on this one." You know, like, and that's how it's supposed to be. So the only person in music I'm in
Well, there's
competition
some
with
songs
is
to myself where I'm like, no, I definitely went the fuck off to my even to myself.
right. And can't nobody tell you different. Ain't
Exactly.
nobody tell you different. And that's how I like it, right? So when music became not a career, right? Not a business that I was building, but more like a job with a requirement. Like
Right.
you know, I have to do this. I have to do this, or the dream not finna work. I don't want that dream. I don't want to feel like I'm forced to do something just because I need this shit to work. Nah, I'll find a way to do it the way I want to. That make me enjoy this shit while I gotta do it. There's always more than one way to get it done. You know, I'm just that patient to try to figure it out. I'm that patient and that stubborn to figure it out because especially when somebody say it will never work that way, you by challenge accepted, motherfucker. Watch this shit, right? Until I find out that was right? Then I'll be like, all right, he's right. Hey, but at least I tried though. And I'll move the fuck on. Like I'll really be unbothered. At my best, I'll be unbothered. At the point where I start to get bothered, I gotta change it up, right? Like I gotta, you know, it ain't nothing worth being frustrated over. Ain't nothing worth being you know, pressed over if it ain't giving you nothing back. You know what I'm saying? So just I stand bring involving my kids more in the thing that I love so much. Like music was never a job for me. It's just who I was. It's what I did. Like when I
Okay.
say I'm a rapper, that's what I do.
Okay.
That's what I do. At any point in time, I can do that. Right?
Exactly.
Being a businessman, that's something I had to learn. That's something I had to get good at. You know what I'm saying? So um, I took the time. I took the time to want to do that, and it brought me benefits in a bunch of other different ways. It brought me so many blessings that I can't even count. The biggest one being active with my babies while they see who they dad is, right? Like I don't really got to go around telling people I'm a rapper no more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the dream came true, right? Like it's it, I never wanted to be famous. I never thought I was the famous type. I'm just too not. I don't know.
I
It
did.
can be too hood, too Chicago, or whatever. But like, I don't be with all of that. What do they call it? All the Hollywood shit. I don't be with the Hollywood shit. You can put me in a movie, cool. I'll be in a movie, but I'm still be me in a
Really?
movie.
Man, I wanted to be famous so bad, but now I'm like, I don't want to sell my soul. I just want
It's like when you see what a lot of these famous people go through. I'll be like, man, I bet you wish you was a civilian right now, don't you? Shit.
exactly.
I keep it.
Come
Hey, that's
on.
where I'm from. We call that being hood rich. You're not famous, but people will swear you are. That's exactly where I want to be. Right up under all of the bullshit. I'll be right there chilling, like, yep, you want to come down here? I got a seat for you. All right, go ahead.
Oh, need some water.
Hit him with that. Yo, here, you want to come over here?
The rap game. The rap game.
It was fun. It was fun. Wow, it was fun while it was fun. And when I stopped, I still had fun. I make better music now um, because I took all the pressure off, right? Like
Right.
I'm not, I'm not pressured on trying to make a banger in the club. I ain't worried about it. It'll come when it comes, sure. But if I put out I'll fuck around, put out a whole old school R&B album on 'em just to switch it
Ooh.
up, like so hit the ooh yeah.
It went off because I went off accidentally went off scream. But I have a couple album ideas, and matter of fact, that's probably a good thing that it went off right at that time because I shouldn't even tell. I would just say it off the record because you know how that goes. You know
Yeah,
my album
yeah,
ideas. I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a good album idea. That's gonna be really good.
yeah, yeah, man. And trust me, I'm sitting on probably like I'm making an album right now. I'm sitting on an album.
Yeah.
Then I got another album's worth of music that I could put together from all these random songs in the library. So as I move into this phase of new jack beats and fully, fully owning the entire process, right? The mixing, the mastering, the making the beat, the writing the lyrics, the recording, all of that, the polishing. Cool, cool. Got that down pat. I want to make sure all of my old stuff is purged. You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
all of the tracks that I've been sitting on and all of the albums that I've been having, even if I'm able to get licensing, I'll go ahead and
it's the
drop all of the
licensing.
mixtapes.
That's what I was
Yeah,
just okay.
because
I'll put this on the record because I think I even told you about this before, but I want to drop. You know how the best. Okay, what's the best Lil Wayne album? Of course. What's okay in your opinion? What do you think? What's your best? What's the best Lil Wayne album? Before we
ah,
get
shit.
before we get into this,
Best one, I will go the
okay, you know what?
Carter
Hold on.
Three.
Let's dial it back. Let's dial it back a little bit because bro's been in the game for like almost 20 years now. Okay, what's the best Lil Wayne mixtape?
Oh, no feelings. No shit. I don't know. No, the drought.
The drought, exactly.
The drought.
Just
I'll go.
drought.
No feelings. Second best.
Second best, no ceilings.
I'll give that one
Because
second
the albums is
best.
different. Because he just came out with a recent album too, so we that's a whole different discussion. But mixtapes,
I know, I know, I know. That's when you see. That's when the shit started getting finicky because it's like I don't know. All Lil Wayne was cold.
cold as hell. The drought.
Commercial Lil Wayne was cool, but new Lil Wayne, like OG Lil Wayne,
I've heard critiques
that's
about the new Lil Wayne album, but that's
different.
yeah. I don't have enough
He's different.
information.
This nigga's a monster.
Is
I
he?
don't care what
He's an
nobody
alien.
says.
I saw him live in Phoenix. I saw him live in Phoenix.
Oh wow. Oh
He is
wow.
a living legend. He is. He's
I
probably
seen
an
him
alien.
live once. I seen him live once, and it was epic. I lost my voice, and matter of fact, I seen him live when he dropped when he was on tour doing those ceilings, and we goddamn went in. Me and my best friend Nico went in. We went in that entire concert. They thought we was hosting the damn concert. We was in that motherfucker. Oh my god, young Jeezy came out. Oh, the snowman. All right, let me stop. I'm reminiscing now. Yes, that concert was lit. That concert was absolutely insane.
He's a living legend. He literally is.
Yeah,
But I wanted to do like
yeah,
a Lil Wayne-esque type album. I forgot what I was gonna fucking call it, man. I'll call it Luna Beams. Luna Beams mixtape.
yeah,
And it's basically just gonna be
yeah.
like everyone else's beats, and I'll just rap some shit over it. To other people's beats. The Drought was my favorite mixtape. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
If you
he was
remember,
different. He's different.
he's different.
Yeah, he's yeah, yeah. Damn Wayne.
But like I have they're really crazy about that licensing shit on Spotify. I have a friend, a music partner, same music partner, who has music on Spotify that keeps getting taken down or flagged and stuff because he doesn't make any of his own beats. Um,
Yeah.
he'll just like alter other people's beats somehow, and I guess does that count? Does that make it a new beat? I'm pretty sure the thing was
Nope.
still no, it's still the same fucking beat. You're not like
Yeah,
Kanye, nigga.
you
Kanye's
there,
like the only person who can fucking do that. Like, you can just make a song sound like a
well,
totally
it's
different
like
song.
you would have to dissect that beat even more, right? Like you can keep the same cadence and change the instruments, and now now we're talking different. But even still,
Like, why didn't
you've
stop?
changed the beat now, right? Like it is now becoming an organic beat, right? If somebody like Kanye, he's able to remake a beat using a 3-second clip of the original beat. You know
That's
what I mean? Like now that's classic. That's classic sample in there. You know what I mean? Like yeah, the sample's coming in there. You might get the tempo from the sample and then have to build around it and everything. But that's the beauty of sampling. You know what I mean? If you're just doing what he's doing, if you're just recording on other people's beats, slightly altering it, it's still a cover, is what it's called. And you have
exactly.
to
Well, you
you
can't
have
claim it
to
as your
declare
own.
the cover.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't. It's not
no,
yours
not
at
at all.
all.
And
Not a fucking.
then their team, I believe, once you do the cover, I think their team has to approve it. However, they have that going too. So when you submit the cover, if
Right.
it's a decent cover, yeah, you might mess around and let you. I mean, we hear covers all the time. Where somebody took somebody else's song and it kind of blew up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, you got to think like, yeah, that team probably liked that cover. It probably got played for that artist, and that artist was like, "Oh hell yeah!" And that's where you hear like somebody who, or Joyner Lucas, for example, he didn't sample it, but when he had that song, I'm feeling like, well, I'm going to do that, whatever. And then next thing you know, he's got a feature with Will on that song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing can happen, but it would have to be a really good cover, right?
Right.
Not to downplay anybody's cover, but if you're just doing what 100,000 other people do, it's not
Exactly.
really. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to pull you out of that haystack. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, if you're like a semi Kanye where you got a majority of that same beat, but you do that one thing that just, it's like, is that my beat? That is my beat. What did you do to my shit? Right? And then now you done got somebody's attention. Now you are the needle in the haystack that ain't that far down, right? So that type of competition, I know we were talking about competition a little bit earlier, that type of competition, that's the type of competition I like, right? Who can make a better
Mhm.
song,
Mhm.
right? Not for me to pull you down or nothing, but for me to be like, damn it, how the fuck did you come up with that idea?
Exactly.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck it.
But to
Let's
bring
go
you
back to the
up.
lab. Let's go back to the lab right now. Shut that shit down, right? Like that'll be probably the best type of competition because that's when it brings out that greatness, man. That's when you start thinking outside the box. You start getting risky with like not risque, but like just
Uh,
risky, right?
yeah,
Stepping out of your comfort
experimental.
zone. You know what I mean? Yes, yes. Like I play around honestly. A lot of my beats. Now I don't define myself as like a gangster rapper, but I'm known for taking like an R&B type of beat and thugging that bitch out. Like you would never know that it was intended to be an R&B song after I hopped on that motherfucker.
Oh
It
my god,
sounded like
that
some, you know,
Batman, one of my favorite fucking Nino songs.
that
Can I just
that's
brag?
a perfect example.
Can I brag on Batman? You just reminded me because that song plays almost every other day when I'm listening to that playlist, my hip hop playlist, or my it's on a couple playlists too. My vibes are tight playlists. Um, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember listening to it and I didn't even realize that you used a fucking a sample from what was the beat from? That was the sample, but it was like tied to like
It was from Beyonce. It was from Beyonce.
the beat was from Beyonce too.
The
Let me
no, the
think.
sample was from
I'm trying
Beyonce.
to think about it in my head right now. Hold on.
Yeah, look.
And you know what? It came back to those people were doing those TikToks, or those riff challenges and stuff.
Yeah,
And I was like, that
yeah,
sound like Nino's song.
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. That song you probably played that one the most, but
like a
that
riff.
song got pretty far, man. And it's always the ones that I don't expect, right? Like I have my favorites, and then I get people that come up to me like, "Yo, this one was mine." I'm like, "That's the one. That's. I give you gold, and that's the one you pick."
I
Like
know.
it,
There's a
and so
couple. Yeah.
I gave up, man. I gave up on trying to make that perfect hit because everybody that like even Batman on the album that Batman is on, it's not even my favorite song.
I'm sure it wasn't, and I think it just popped up in my fucking my music playlist one day because I was just like bumping a lot of you and Cash, bump a lot of you because you have a lot of albums on fucking Spotify, and
Yeah,
it came and
yeah,
that one, and there's another one by 𝙭𝑆 that I'm sure that you probably don't,
yeah,
man, that I love so
yeah,
much, For the Love and the Money. Oh my god,
yeah.
every time that song comes
And
on, I just like, oh my god, this is my jam right here.
the other half of C², my boy Dubs. Shout out Dub. What up,
Shout
bro?
out to Dubs.
Um, that's one of his favorite songs with me too. We got another one that ain't dropped yet. That's my favorite with him. It's called "Oh Yeah." That one is my shit. I was in my mode for that one. When I say I walked in there, they was
Uh,
playing it, and I got the bopping in there. Yeah, that was my shit. And you can hear it when I start rapping. Like I come in there hard.
Hell yeah. I got a couple other favorites too. But
Yeah,
those two are like
it's
my undeniable like favorites every time they come on. And I like when they come on when I'm gonna brag on myself a little bit when I'm in other countries. Oh, did I tell you that I and I send it to you every single time. Every single time
Yep,
you get the notification that, hey, your song is being played right now in Dominican Republic. Okay, your song is
yep,
being played right
yep.
now in
And,
Jamaica.
and I'll be looking at the map too, so everybody everywhere that tune in, I can see when y'all tapping in. Don't even worry about it.
So, and I was like, I love it when they fucking come on. Forgot what I was gonna fucking say. Oh, I didn't tell you. I told you I booked a flight to Costa Rica. I'm going to Costa Rica for my birthday.
Nice,
Yeah, Costa Rica,
nice,
boy. Just did that.
nice.
On like the solstice on December, right before New Year's. I'm like
Nice one.
the excitement is still like kind of settling in, you know. I
Yeah.
feel like the closer it gets, the more you know.
Yeah. It's
It's
that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it was before I went to Hawaii with the fiance. She that was like the week before when it was about time to start getting ready. That's when I started getting butterflies. Like I'm gonna see
woo.
me a volcano. Didn't even see a volcano, but it was still a great trip. It was still a great trip. I loved it. Had a great time.
So
Shout
yeah,
out to the
get
family
ready for
out
that
there.
notification from Costa Rica when your son comes
Oh
over.
yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to it. I'm gonna be looking forward to it for sure. I expect nothing less. Get in there.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah. My sister, I
Okay.
gotta go start getting ready for work. It's starting to get late out this
Yes.
way.
I enjoy the conversation. Okay, hold on. Let me stop the conversation. Any last words before we get on out of here for the people?
Hey man, tap into the one and only. It's Nino. Yeah, we know. Frostbite
Nino.
Entertainment.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
know what
know.
time it is. Shout out to the cat. Shout out to the Beyonce wifey. Shout out to Sis.
Oh
Thank you
yeah,
for
did you want
having
to
me on the
announce that?
show.
I guess did you just announce that? Okay.
Nah. So if you
Okay.
know, you know. If you caught it, you got it. But if you didn't, you won't.
Let's
So
get
now what? Nah.
it. Okay. All right.
But no, it's a pleasure having me. Thank you. I can't wait to do it again.
Hell yeah. Thank you.